for joining us for the March webinar from AGCO Direct. We are just going to let some more people get in, and we will get started here in just a couple minutes. All right, we're going to get started. Thank you all for joining us right now. We are doing a website best practices for dealer-specific webinar for you for March. I'm Emily Barvels. I am the client success lead for our channel team here at AGCO Direct. And I will be monitoring your questions. So the chat is private, but there is a chat option. So if you have questions throughout the presentation, please go ahead and throw them in that chat box, and we will do our best to address them as they come if it works with the presentation. Otherwise, we'll hit them all at the end and make sure to answer all of your questions. But Max is going to take us through the beginning portion of this webinar, and then I will hop in at the end. So Max.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily. So a lot of you may have worked with me in the past. My name is Max Foss. I am a client success manager here at AGCO Direct. I have been with AGCO Direct for coming up on 4.5 years now, working with dealers all across the country. So excited to kind of get into this here. Here is our agenda today. So we have quite a few topics we want to cover and go through here. I'm not going to read through all of them, but I'll just leave this slide up for a couple seconds and then we will get into the presentation. All right. So the first thing I want you to do on this presentation is kind of be honest with yourself in where do you fall in these categories. These are the three main categories we're seeing most dealer websites fall into. Number one is you don't have a website. That is obviously an issue if we're trying to drive leads through websites. So you don't have a website, you're missing out entirely on online buyers. The second thing is an outdated website. Maybe you had a website built 5 years, 7 years ago, and it functions great, but speed times might be a little bit slow. You might not have the most current updates from Massey Ferguson or from Fendt on your website. It's a little bit slow, not necessarily mobile friendly. And then the third thing that we're seeing a lot of dealers have is good websites, but they are not optimized for leads. So the website's great, it functions well, it has a great user experience going through the website, but the pages aren't necessarily optimized for leads. So we want to look at that and see how can we have that optimized for leads to make sure that you're getting the most out of your website. So first I want to get into why do websites matter? 80% of the buyers, especially when it comes to these big ticket items, are Googling and doing research online before actually contacting you and making a purchase. It is always a 24/7 salesperson for your dealership. So there are opportunities when the dealership are closed, or if someone just doesn't want to come in and talk face to face, they're going to your website to get information, see what you guys have to offer, and compare different models. 3 seconds. 3 seconds is all it takes for a dealer, or excuse me, for a customer to form an opinion on your dealership. You need to make sure you're making a good first impression on your website to keep that dealer engaged and have them go through your website and hopefully contact you. We need to make sure that your website is mobile first. I'm sure a lot of you know this already, but people are searching on their phone rather than on their computer, on their desktop right now. Making sure that all your pages are mobilely optimized and that there's no formatting issues when people are searching on their phone is very important. And if it's not, if it's not mobilely optimized, you could risk losing that competition to your rivals. People might go on your website, and if it's not a good user experience in those first couple seconds, if it's not formatted correctly for your phone, they might ditch your website completely, go to a Kubota dealer or another dealer down the road who has a better experience on their website. So here's 5 topics. This is like a sub agenda slide here, things that I really want to dive into and really hit hard. So starting with your homepage, making sure your homepage has a clear call to action and a strong experience on it when someone gets to your website first. Detailed equipment listing pages. How is your equipment shown? Are people able to request a quote from your equipment pages? What do those look like? Lead forms, we'll dive into those a little bit further. Making sure your website has a fast load time and it's mobile friendly, like I touched on. And then also, how can they contact? Is your contact information clearly shown? Is your location or are your locations clearly shown? How do they access that information? Okay, so your homepage is your front door. Like I mentioned a couple slides ago, visitors decide right away if they want to stay on your site, if they want to leave your site. Your homepage must answer 3 questions right away when someone gets on your page. Who are you? Which we'll go into in a little bit further. What do you sell? And what do they need to do next on your website? So diving into those a little bit further, who are you? You need to have a clear identity. Your dealership name needs to be clearly shown. Your location, what brands you sell, those need to be immediately visible for that customer. They can't be guessing. They need to know where they are and what they're doing. They need to have a strong call to action. So once they're on your page, and they see, hey, this is a Massey Ferguson dealer. Now what do I do? Do you want them to view equipment? Do you want them to schedule service? Do you want them to contact you and find your information? These are very important because you can capture that information instantly and have buttons right there for them to click so they know exactly where to go when they land on your page. And then make sure it's clean. There's nothing I don't like when I go to a website and I get thrown pop-ups at me and things are just everywhere. I need it to be clean, I need it to be structured, and I need to know where to go when I land on that page so I'm not doing any guessing. Okay, this I think is the most important slide of the whole presentation. So if we could put a star on this, that would be great. And we'll share these out afterwards, but your equipment pages need to convert. Your equipment pages are going to get you most of your leads to your website. This here is an example of a website that we have, this little screenshot showing how we can make your equipment pages convert. So the first thing is we need to have clear images of the type of equipment that you are selling. So here we have this GC1700. There's multiple images that the viewer can go through and see what you're selling and what they're looking at. I've also seen dealers have a salesperson do a quick 30-second walk around and upload it here on their equipment listing just to highlight key features, specs of the machine, just so that customer can get a 360 view. Going back to when I said your website is always selling, you can use that as a selling tool for you. So people don't have to come in necessarily and talk to a sales rep or someone on your team. They can go to the website and get a lot of that information when they're doing their research part of the buying process. Make sure you have detailed specs and features. When I went to go buy my car, we live in North Dakota, I was like, I need to make sure it has heated seats, heated steering wheel. That's something that I did the research before, and I was like, I'm not looking for a car that doesn't have this. So make sure you have those specs and those features listed on your website that are clear for that consumer. And then lastly, the transparent call to action. On this one, we have 3 quick call to actions right away. We have request a quote, request a demo, and download a brochure. If the person goes through this buying cycle and they're like, hey, this is something that I'm interested in, I want more information, they can click that button right away, submit their information, and it goes to you and generates a lead for you instantly. They don't have to go to a contact us form. They don't have to go scour your website looking for a different page to go to give you that information that they're interested in this machine.
I also want to call out on this page too that this is a product listing from our website that is a cloud-based system. So this one is more of a generic listing, although it has all of the options for the different transmissions and the different, weights and engine types and sizes. There's also, the option of adding the inventory listing, their actual inventory listing, which is super important. If you have the ability, the employees and people that know how to work the back end of a website, and putting your actual equipment on there too with physical photos of your pieces of equipment is super important. But this one is a nice clean breakdown of this piece of equipment of the GC 1700 series tractors, that can show you, a basic overview of like, if this is the type of equipment that you're looking for, these are the different options that we have available from Massey Ferguson. And now go to, request a quote, and then we can tell you what's actually on site at our dealership.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're talking about leads. So someone clicks, they want to fill out a form for us to contact them. There are 3 different buckets, and these are progressively getting more, it's like we like to call them like hot leads. So if someone fills out a lead form and they're just looking for you to contact them, that's someone who's interested in what you're selling. They're on your website. They're looking at through your equipment. They're interested in what you're selling, and that generates a lead for you if they fill out a lead form. We also have quote requests, like on this last slide, where someone can view the equipment, read through everything, and then say, hey, we're interested. We want to talk numbers. They click that request a quote button. You can get a lead instantly that is someone who we have a little bit further down the buying cycle where, hey, they're sold. We need to just kind of continue nurturing that relationship. And then we also have financing options. So on most websites, definitely on our websites, we have apply for financing or financing calculators, where these people are ready to buy right now. They're requesting financing. They're already sold. You just need to make sure the numbers crunch and everything looks good. So we have different options for lead forms and captures that we do use. I like this little blurb at the bottom. So leads are 9 times more likely to convert when they're contacted within 5 minutes. This is definitely true. I know in my experience, I've filled out a lead, looking to buy something, and if that dealer or business doesn't contact me back in a day or 2, I've already moved on to the next dealer or the next business that's selling a similar product, because I know that they'll get back to me. You need to make sure that your leads are being followed up on right away. We do have systems in place and specific tools that can send leads directly to your phone, to your email, to a specific person on your sales team, or we can send it to multiple people at your dealership to ensure that those leads are getting followed up on and contacted immediately once they submit that lead form.
We did have a question just come in, Max, about the inventory listings, and just a specific dealer asking if their new and used equipment links on their website navigation bar. They currently send their customers to the Tractor House dealer page with their new and used inventory, and they are asking if that is discouraged.
It's not discouraged, but there's definitely better practices. The way we have our website set up, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen our preferred platform, is we have a new equipment listings where it is similar to, I'll go back a few slides here. it looks like this page for each type of equipment, for the 1700, for the 5S, etc. And it's different for each page where they can get the specs and the information. This is the preferred way and the recommended way to do it, especially if you're trying to generate leads, because then they can see all the information, request a quote, request a demo, etc. When they're all combined, it is a little bit of a harder user experience for the dealer to navigate. Where I know on Tractor House, a lot of them are like filtered options where you have to check boxes on the sidebar to figure out what type of equipment you're looking for. It's not the worst thing in the world, but there are better practices that we'll share with you that we would recommend.
And if it is an outgoing link, an outbound link, that's something that you'll want to look at as well. So if it's not like a IMAP that's directly put onto the website that you currently house, and it takes you out to your Tractor House dealer listings, that's definitely not best practice, because you're actually having people leave your website actively. So, and I know on a lot of Tractor House websites, they have created landing pages for you that aren't your website. So if you are looking at your Google Analytics, or you're trying to get customer data from, you know, your analytics data, having those bounced out websites are not best practice. You want to keep them on your website as long as possible.
Yeah, and I'll echo kind of what Emily said, and we'll go into it a little bit further into the presentation, but making sure you have analytics set up on all of your equipment listing pages is super important. We need to make sure that we're able to track the information, because it's going to be tough to improve and make changes if you don't have the data and you're just guessing. So this one here, this talking about our website program again here. These screenshots are from our website program. This is just a test site. These are our offices and locations here. If you are a multi-location dealer, it is imperative that you do have a map loaded onto your website, so people can see, hey, I'm closer to this location, or I'm closer to this location, or if I need service in a specific location. It's important that you have this so dealers can say, if they're in the middle of two locations, what's going to be closer for me, so they can go and visit your dealership, and it makes more sense for them. The things that, you know, I'm sure 95% of dealers on here have is make sure you have your phone number for each location if you do have multiple locations. Same with your physical address. One thing I see on some dealer websites is they don't have their current business hours. So make sure your business hours are updated. There is no quicker way to lose a customer than if they drive an hour and a half to your dealership and it's closed because there's nothing on your website. Make sure that you have those hours updated, and if you have seasonal hours or holiday hours, make sure you're going in there and updating those ahead of time and letting people know that your hours will be changing. Okay, I have a quick little perfect world example. I know it isn't always like this, but in a perfect situation, this is kind of how we envision it going through your website and getting a lead. So the first thing is the farmer searches Google. I'm going to put in a quick plug for any dealers who are running tactics through us. This is like your paid search. People are Googling equipment near me, and your listing is coming up to the top of the page. So that customer clicks on your page, then they go through your results and find your equipment listing. They're doing their research. They're checking, hey, this is what I need. Will this be suitable for the job and what I'm trying to do with this type of equipment? If they determine, yes, that's great, they look through the photos, they have to look through the specs. If you have price on your website, I know not everyone does it. This makes sense for me. They click that request a quote button that's already embedded onto your page. Submit a quick lead. Your sales people or your sales team reaches out to that lead and you sell the equipment. I know it's not that easy, but in a perfect world, that's how it should function. So that's kind of like from a high level, taking you through the whole entire journey, what this would look like if everything goes perfectly. I do want you guys to take away that every step here, so 1 through 5, is something that you can control at your dealership and make easy changes. So they're searching. I talked about our paid search, making sure your SEO on your website is good and make sure that you're popping up more frequently. Your page appears in the results. You have a good equipment listing page. I know I said, hey, this is the most important part of the presentation. the equipment listing slides. Make sure that is buttoned up. Make sure that it has a clear call to action on there. They request a quote, and you guys reach out to them, within 15 minutes of them submitting a quote. You're still top of mind. You're able to start that conversation and start that buying cycle for that customer. Okay, so now you sold a piece of equipment. Great. Now what do you do? The sale isn't over there. You need to make sure you are asking every single sale for a review. Right after they buy the equipment, they're happy. They just got a new piece of equipment. Ask them for a quick review. Make it easy. Send them a text with a quick little link and say, hey, this will take 2 minutes. Send a little thank you note with it. We'd really appreciate if you filled out a review for us. Send them an email with a quick link where they can fill it out, and it takes them 2 minutes. Make it very easy for them. Don't make it a strenuous process for that customer, or they just won't give you the review. Also, if they do give you a good review, showcase it on your homepage. Show it on your website. People love to buy from people they know, people in their community. If Bob down the street bought a tractor and he had a really good experience, highlight that. Let other people know that, because if they know Bob, they're going to trust you. It just builds credibility and builds that relationship within your community. Add those to your website. Feature them in a social media post. Make sure that those good reviews are being shown, because you guys did a great job to earn that review. Make it, brag about it a little bit. And make sure you're responding to everything. Great reviews are easy to respond to. Say, hey, thanks, I appreciate it. The bad reviews also need to be responded to. It builds credibility. Show people, hey, even though they had a bad experience, we're going to reply to them, remedy the situation, and do right by them to make sure that the next experience that they have with us is great. I like to, reviews are great. I like to compare it to like when I'm shopping, even on Amazon. The weather's starting to turn here, so I'm getting ready for some golf season. And I was just buying some grip cleaners and some cleaning kits for my golf clubs. The first thing I do, even though I'm spending 10, 15 bucks, is click the reviews. Look at what people are saying. Even if that review is, say, a 4-star out of 5, if it has thousands of reviews, it builds a lot of credibility than a review or a product that only has 10 reviews, but it's 5 stars. Just because you can see the bad reviews and they're reaching back out to that customer being like, hey, we're sorry about this. How do we fix it? Make sure you're responding and asking for reviews every single time someone comes into your store for a sale, for service, etc. Okay, and then how we kind of talked about analytics. For those of you who do work through AgCo Direct, this is not what a normal dashboard looks like. The contents of it are similar. We didn't want to share someone's website statistics, so we just created something to show. But it gets the point across. You can see how many visitors have come to your website. What's the conversion? How many leads we have? Whenever I do dashboard reviews with dealers, the one thing I try to highlight over everything is the top landing pages. This is where people are coming to your website, the pages they are attracted to, the pages they're looking at. If anything, make sure these top 5 to 10 pages are buttoned up. They have clear call to actions. They are very enticing. They have good images, good specs, good features, because this is where 90% of your traffic is going to. Make sure that you can capture leads on these pages. So I have some quick action items. Like I mentioned, we'll share these slides out so you guys can have this, but these are some things that our team came up with that are very easy for you to implement right away on your website. It takes a little bit of time, but it's not too difficult. So the first thing is update your Google Business profile. Make sure your hours are current, your photos are current. When you go click on a Google Business profile and the images from 10 years ago, we don't know how current that is. Like, make sure it's your current storefront. Is the signage the same? Have you guys done renovations? Make sure it's something that people are actually going to see when they drive up to your dealership. Grab your phone, 10 minutes, just go through your website, click on every link, go to every page that you can find. Make sure all the formatting is correct. Like I mentioned, people are surfing the internet on their phone rather than on the laptop or a desktop computer. Just look for anything that looks off on your phone when you're going through your website. Add a request a quote button to every single equipment page. This is what you guys do. You guys sell equipment. Make sure people can contact you directly from those equipment pages so you can generate more leads. Remove any sold or outdated inventory from your website. This is another quick way to lose a customer. If they go through that entire research process, they finally get sold on a piece of equipment. They come to your dealership and say, hey, I want this 1700 right here that's on your website. And you're like, that's been gone for 3 months. That's going to really upset a customer and you could potentially lose their business. So make sure that your inventory on your pages are current. They are updated constantly. Ask your 3 happiest customers for a Google review. I know you guys have a lot of customers that you're close with and you have good relationships with. I guarantee if you go ask them for a quick minute review, like I said, make it easy. Send them a quick link. Tell them it'll take 2 minutes. They'll give you a review. Start that process now. Have them give you a good review so other people in your community can see that. And then this one's big. Make sure that all your contact forms work. Submit a test lead. Figure out where is that lead being sent to. One, is it also being sent through? And then also, what are we doing with these leads once we get them? Are they just sitting in an inbox that no one's following up on? Go through your website, look at every single form that you do have on your website, and figure out where are they going and how are we responding. Okay, and I'll put in a plug for our website program. All the screenshots that you saw in this presentation were from our website program. Our website program is designed and optimized for leads. We know that that's the name of the game here. We need to sell equipment. So all of the things on our website are for leads. The website is fully customizable, so it's not going to look like every other dealer website that's out there. We have a template, like update that template. You can make custom requests. Just reach out to someone on our team, and we can take you through that process. And the biggest thing is there's a lot of things to continue optimizing for leads and making sure your website is buttoned up. The website program that we do have, we take that off your hands and then let you do what you guys do best, sell equipment. We will handle the back end stuff. We will handle the leads and get them to you and get them to where they need to go. We will take this off your hands and let you guys sell. I also want to put in a plug that this is co-op eligible. So if you don't have a plan to use all your co-op for the year, this is a great opportunity. If your website is outdated, or even if you don't have a current website right now, we can look into this program. We can schedule a quick little intro call and figure out what's the best way that we can move forward with this.
To give Max a little bit of a break here, I will go through a couple more things about the dealer website program. So I know a lot of you have probably already have heard of this. We continue to optimize our websites and to make sure that all the newest equipment is on there. It is a cloud-based system, so we can pull in inventory into all of the websites that are associated with our website platform. And then obviously we work directly with Massey Ferguson and Fendt. And so we have all of the information directly from the manufacturer that goes into those websites. So it's all current, the most up-to-date images and everything there. So our website is optimized for digital success. Like Max said, they're mobile ready, conversion focused, designed, crafted to delight users and rank with search engines. So we focus highly on SEO. Make sure the design is clean, it's ADA compliant, it is mobile ready, it looks good everywhere it's shown. The global to local content. So we pre-built the product and content library for faster implementation. So if you had a website with us before the new numbers and model numbers for all the Massey Ferguson equipment came out, we already upload all of that content to your website from the global platform. So that obviously we make sure that you have the contract first, and then we put that on your website after having a conversation and just saying, hey, we've built out the 1M page. Do you want that added to your page now? Can you sell these pieces of equipment at this time? Do you have any on the lot? Or can you pre-order them? Stuff like that. And then we put them on there. Unlike some other website platforms that just kind of throw all of the equipment that's possible from the OEM onto your website. We specifically tailor it to what you have on the lot. So if you don't want that product page, we can hide that product page from your website so that it's not on there. It all has equipment specs and assets, literature that's specifically directly from AGCO. It's the same stuff that's on your dealer portal that the dealers can then, customers can then get to have all the information they need in order to make their purchase. We offer the after sales commercial programs and special offers. So if there are offers going on for, you know, I don't know, hay equipment or hay parts, twine sales, stuff like that, we can have all of those on the after sales pages. Any sort of promotions. So if it is chosen by you to show the financing offers on those pages, it is something that is loaded into the back end of the global to local content libraries that can be shown on each product page, as well as a promotions page if that's something that you choose. Customization, like Max said, it's a component-based design library. So they do have specific components that are there, but it is fully customizable. So I know some dealerships have a fully white website. Some dealerships have a black background on their website. Some show videos at the beginning, some show images. So we allow, you know, for that unique customization of content without overcomplication. So we can discuss it with you. Anything that you want, we'll make sure it happens. It's easy to update. So it's built in the top CMS platform, WordPress. I think if anybody's worked in the marketing world, you have had some sort of dabble into WordPress. It's super easy to upload an image, throw in the specs, throw in the pricing, and then update your inventory listing. So either yourself or somebody from AGCO Direct can update that content for you. So if you are the only person working in sales, but you also want your equipment on your website, you can forward that over to Max, and Max will get that to the correct person to upload it into the back end of your website. Or we walk through it with you in a case-by-case basis and show you exactly how to update that and make it look the best. Seamless AGCO brand integration. So like I said, it automatically updates for new models as long as you have the contract, promotions, product literature, and more. Dedicated support and training. So like I said, we can train you on anything you need to know on the WordPress backend. We also have a 24-hour response time, quarterly check-ins if that's something that you are requiring, and then obviously ongoing program updates. Flexible and transparent pricing. So this is where I believe that we can really help and differ from other website platforms, is that we can either offer it as a lump sum up front or a subscription-based plan where you can pay per month if it's something you don't want to just fork up the full cost right up front, because it tends to be expensive to get websites. I think our pricing is very competitive. And we also offer add-on customizations to meet your needs. So we have a list of add-ons that we can do. We can also pretty much make anything work. So if you have something that you want us to try, or have currently on your website that you are ready to move over to an AGCO Direct website and you want to make sure that that's a possibility of having it on your website, that's just a conversation we have from the beginning. We're very transparent about if we can do it or can't do it. So also the flexible pricing is also something that we can work on. Like we work directly with AGCO and AGCO's co-op team. So I know that the dealer websites and the way that AGCO and Massey and Fendt are shown on websites is very important to them. And so they are fully on board to help to promote their equipment to the best of our abilities, yours and theirs. So they are willing to assist. If you are having hard time financially to get your website up and running, we are also flexible and transparent in pricing. So if it's something that you know, you're close to being able to afford, let's have a conversation about it. Talk through how we can help you get those leads by having a nice brand new website that shows all of the equipment. And then the enhanced performance, built-in SEO. We've talked about this in nausea in the last couple of months. SEO, both local and website SEO, are very, very important. We all know that. user experience optimizations and analytics dashboard. So we will always offer you an analytics dashboard if it's something that you want to watch the performance go through. Otherwise, there is analytics on the back end of your website as well. So that information is all based off of our AGCO Direct website platform. And you can get all of that information from your AGCO customer success rep, or you can email ads@agcodirect.com for more information and to get shown maybe who your rep is from the AGCO Direct team. We do have some questions coming in.
Emily, I'll grab this
Yep.
first one here. The specific dealer asked, is there a way to integrate Tractor House into your website so they don't leave your website? Through our website program, yes, we do have what is called an API with Tractor House, meaning we pull directly from your Tractor House listing. So if you update something on Tractor House and add a new machine or take off a piece of equipment, that automatically gets updated on our used equipment inventory on your website. So yes, we do.
And there is a question about assuming that the recommendation is obviously to have us build your website, as we are AGCO Direct. In rare cases, they say that AGCO Direct may not currently have the capability to create a site that meets their specific needs. So first, I just want to reiterate that we can pretty much make anything work. We have integrated short lines, we've integrated full lines into these websites too. So if we're talking about different product categories, maybe you have both construction and ag companies, we can integrate those construction companies' entire inventories in there as well. It says, are there any other website developers that we recommend? I personally don't have any that I would highly recommend at this time. I think we have done a lot of research into, the cost and the way we set things up. However, if you have questions about a website platform that you're looking into and you just want some recommendations on, what we see as being benefits or something that wouldn't work for you, you can definitely send them our way. We're more than happy to give recommendations about other agencies and other companies as well. So we're not just going to tell you no.
Yeah, Emily, I'll piggyback on that one a little bit. I've done calls with AGCO Direct dealers, or excuse me, AGCO dealers who are kind of, hey, what do you think about this website program that's a local business that they want to work with, where we can provide our feedback and recommendations on that, and let you know if we think it's a good idea. Obviously, we want you to work with us, but we also want you to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck and you're making the correct decision. So we will even sit down for a quick consultation with your dealership to see if it's something that you want to do, work with a local vendor. And Emily, I also think you answered this question, but I just want to make it clear. You can feature non-AGCO equipment if you want to on your website. We have websites that we've built that have Claas, they have Porsche, etc. You can feature those. We just ask that you have AGCO be the main attraction to your website, so that Fendt and Massey are listed first, and then we can list those other brands below there. We can still make them main attractions on your website, but we do want to push the AGCO brand before any other brands.
The next one was, any suggestions for a dealership that had AGCO Direct redesign our website last year, and it's following all these tips, but we aren't generating leads from it. So it doesn't always bring the leads, a website. You have to do other marketing initiatives to get people to your website for them to fill out those forms and to make sure that those leads are coming in. But Max, what would you suggest to get more people to your website in order to fill out those forms and get those leads?
Absolutely. Yeah. The website is one tool. It is a sales tool for you, but there are multiple tools that go into the toolbox, so to say, to make everything work together. You can have a website, but how are people getting to your website? People just don't magically get to your website unless they know who you are and what you sell, and you're relevant in the community, which I'm sure a lot of you are. But we also help dealers with paid tactics, so paid search. So in that example with the farmer, if he's searching for ag equipment near me, you're going to come up to the top of the page. We also have display ads and social media ads that are just going to drive more and more traffic to your website. You want your website to be the hub of your marketing. You want to drive people there and then they can look at the equipment, and then they can fill out that lead form for you to make sure that you're getting those leads. So the website's a tool, but there is so much more that goes on to get people on into your website for them to utilize that tool.
And then on top of that, if you are doing paid tactics, making sure you're driving them to that correct page. The least amount of clicks that they need to do to get the information that they need is, I mean, we all have like squirrel brains right now and getting things, and they want it right away. Click it. That's what I want to see, or I'm going to leave. So making sure if you are promoting, you know, a 5S and you want to get them to your website to see that specific piece of equipment, you're not driving them to a Tractor House feed on your website where it's like literally they have to scroll to find it or click on high horsepower or whatever they have to do to get there. You want to bring them directly to that listing so that they are getting that information as quickly as possible. This one says, if we choose the AGCO brand integration and nothing else, and then if we choose that, can we go in and update an image if it doesn't match our region?
Yes.
So I guess the first part of that is that the integration is proprietary. So we don't offer that as like a plugin to your website. You can't just take the cloud-based system and put it on your website. Would have to go through our website platform. But I think, Max, as you were going to talk about, the images are customizable.
Yes, they are customizable. We have stock images and new images that we get from the OEM, so Massey and Fendt. But we definitely recommend on you putting your own images. Make it your website. If you are in the mountains, put mountain images in there. Make sure it feels local to your customers, because what you can provide at a local level is much better than we can provide at a global level. Make it feel very local to those people who visit your site. Like I mentioned, we've seen dealers do video walkarounds where they have it on those equipment listing pages where the salesperson is going around saying, hey, here's the main 3 features of the 1700. Adding more local and custom content is always going to be the preferred answer from us.
Another question. Can the website have an e-commerce tab that utilizes DIS for parts inventory?
I'm not very familiar with DIS, so if you want to reach out to us and we can hop on a quick call and go through that. We do have parts tabs that break out, and we can show you this as well. Break out like the full parts page, so you can schedule service. You can look at the different programs that AGCO has and is offering. We can also link that parts page directly to the e-commerce platform if that's something you're interested in. So with that seems like a little bit more of a specific question. So I just ask for you to reach out and we can hop on a quick call to talk through that.
Does listing non-AGCO brands affect co-op eligibility?
Yes and no. It's a custom question. If you're just listing the brand on there, so say Kloss, for example, and linking out to their OEM page, no, that's not going to be an issue. But if we are building out a full inventory listing page for Kloss or for Horsch, etc., we would need to talk about what that looks like, and that would just be an input call with our team to figure out how much is this going to cost. Is that something you want to proceed with, and then what does that look like for your dealership?
Yeah, so if it's one additional OEM that you're trying to show, the rest of the website would be co-op eligible. So we would give you that quote on like this portion of this is co-op eligible. This is, that it's the 60-40 split, just like we would get most of the time for anything else. So if it's just, a couple of short lines and you just need to go out to those pages, like grain bins or anything like that, it doesn't. But otherwise, we can definitely do a personalized quote. And again, like Max said, that would be in an intake call to just talk to your AGCO Direct Client Success Manager to make sure that, you have all the information up front and that there's no surprises as the build goes on. I think that was all the questions that we had right now. If you have any more very specific questions on any sort of feeds, Tractor House listings, stuff like that, our website platform, Max would be so excited to get on a call with you. I'm just kidding. Any of our AGCO Direct Client Success Managers are fully understanding of the website program. We've all been on the back end of the website. We've all sold websites and worked with our dealers to make sure that their websites are up to date and clean and really representative of their brand as well as their OEMs and the contracts that they sell. So please feel free to reach out to any of us if you are interested in the website platform. And then, or reach out to ads@agcodirect.com if you do not know who your current client success manager is, and we would be more than happy to help you. So thank you very much for joining us today. We will be back in April with another marketing webinar to walk you guys through. But we appreciate you guys joining us, and we will see you next month.
Thanks, everyone.